Hi everyone, this is Ryan Hoyme, aka Massage Nerd. Now here we have Eric Polgar. Welcome, Eric.
Nice to meet you.
So, so can you give us a little background how you got involved in the massage industry?
Absolutely. I was a social worker for 10 years before I decided that I was spinning my wheels trying to talk people into improving their life. And I was looking for a different way to affect people. One of the things that I saw in common with all of my clients was they didn't know how to manage stress, and it led to a lot of mental health issues. And so that kind of led me down the road of exploring massage as a possible career. And I went to massage school back in 2005, and graduated and started a practice, and then moved to Oregon and had trouble getting my license, and so then I became an administrator in school.
Okay.
I haven't looked back since.
Yeah,
So.
yeah, it makes it hard. I mean, if you transfer one state to the next and stuff. And,
Yeah, the lack of reciprocity really hurts.
Yeah, it'd be so nice because so many people have to even take over and do over their schooling. So.
Yeah, it's the truth, especially coming into Oregon because there's a practical exam that you have to take. And so a lot of people come from out of state and don't realize that there's a lot of kinesiology that they have to learn. So then they go through that process.
Yeah, because when I signed up for massage school, I just saw commercials of people massaging, and that's what that was all about.
Yeah.
But
then you learn the
the truth then, yeah. Tons of anatomy, physiology, you name it, it's like.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, I have a degree in psychology, and so I was always interested in the mind-body connection. But then I learned the anatomy part of it and the pathology part of it and all of that stuff. And it's really broadened my view of wellness in general and how to maintain and prevent illness.
Is your brain full with all that knowledge?
It is. It kind of leaks out of my ear every now and then. And I'm like, get back in there.
So, why did you decide to get into education?
I kind of fell backwards into my job. When I arrived in Oregon, my whole plan was to get a license and start my practice up again, and I had trouble meeting the qualifications in Oregon, and I started applying for jobs, and one of the jobs was with the University of Western States. At that time, they were Western States Chiropractic College, and they had started a massage program, but they were struggling to get students, and so they needed somebody to do admissions work. And so I kind of had a sales background before, and then I had the psychology piece where I knew how to connect with people. So I went in and I interviewed for the job, and I got the job by trashing their program and telling them everything that was wrong with it. And they were like, we need you.
Yeah.
And so that was back in 2008. And I've been with them ever since. And never started up a practice again. So, and then I've just kind of progressed with them, and as they've grown, I've taken on different roles. And now I'm the assistant director of massage for the university.
Do you miss massaging on a regular basis?
Part of me does, and part of me doesn't. You know, I have a family at home, and so it's nice to have steady income and have benefits and retirement package and all that stuff. But I do miss the connecting with clients. I'm always a helper, and so I've always felt like that was kind of my role. But now I find myself just kind of tweaking that a little bit, and I'm helping students figure out what they want to do and get into this profession if they follow their passions.
Yeah, nowadays there's so many different options. I mean, it all depends on what kind of background you have too. Let's say you're right, or you name it, something like that. There's always something to do.
And even when I was a social worker, I did a lot of curriculum development, I did a lot of group sessions and a lot of teaching, and then at one point I worked at a court-adjudicated day treatment program. And that's where I really got into education. I was working with the 6th graders through 12th graders and doing a lot of curriculum development on social skills and life skills and anger management and those kind of things. So I brought that background with me. It was just kind of a natural fit, I think, when I got into higher ed. And just kind of converted some of the skills that I carried from previous places and made it work.
What makes a good instructor for the line?
Oh, lots of things make a good instructor. I think one is passion. You got to really want to do it, and I think that's true for any field. You got to have passion for what you're doing. And I also think it's preparation. You got to be prepared to go in and be the leader in the classroom and be the person who can educate others. I think that the ability to connect with a diverse group of people. I mean, you look at massage classrooms and you have 18-year-olds and 60-year-olds and GED earners and master's degrees, and throw them all into the melting pot together. And you're like, wow, how is this going to work out? And then you throw somebody in front of them to teach them all. And you know, some of the instructors that I have on staff are younger than some of my students, and some of them are older than all of my students. And it's really interesting to see those dynamics form with each class. You know, sometimes the class loves the instructors, and sometimes they don't. It's just part of life, and we got to get along and keep moving forward towards it.
What kind of challenges do you see students having these days?
It depends on the age group. The younger students that are coming out of high school, I don't think they receive the critical thinking training that they need in K through 12 programs. So I don't think they're coming with the same set of life skills that the older students have. And then at the same time, you have the older students who have all of this life experience, but now they're doing a career change, or they're finally going to follow that dream and passion that they had. And so the group dynamics is always an interesting struggle in the classroom, and how is it all going to come together and work, especially with that diverse of a group. So,
Do you try to bring the technology into the classrooms as possible?
we do, and you know, some people love that aspect, and some people can't stand it. I have some students who don't even know how to turn a computer on, and I have other students who couldn't read a textbook if they had to, and everything was video and social media related and that kind of thing. The university actually does have an extensive e-learn electronic learning system that we use for all of our classes. I think it's a really valuable resource. You know, a student can sit through a lecture class, and then they can go home and they can pull up the PowerPoint presentations, look at it all, they can review the information that they missed while they were taking notes, or talking or texting in class, or whatever they were doing. And so I think it's really valuable. I have a MBA that I completed as an online program that was competency-based. And so that's kind of the direction that I see education is more competency-based, more hybrid types of classes. So I'm a big advocate of technology.
Yeah, we have to adapt on this. A lot of stuff's ahead of this. Because the thing is, I mean, when I was teaching too, we had some classes that were hybrid, so 1 week in class, 1 week online kind of thing, but it would help correlate the two and bring both of those together as much as possible.
Yeah, I mean, earlier today, Whitney Lowe was talking about the flipped classroom, and that's a big model that's kind of emerging in education. Massage is a really good domain for that to kind of operate. So we'll kind of have to see what the future brings, but I think that we do a disservice to students if we don't teach technology as part of the programs, especially with the healthcare legislation and the emergence of electronic health records and all those kind of things. People have to be technology savvy. They have to understand how to use that stuff. And it can benefit the clients too, depending on how you choose to use it. If you're using technology in a professional sense, you know, you can use pictures and videos and send tutorials home with clients, and you know, there's a lot of potential.
And so many clients don't have actual phone.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. I teach our business management class. Well, I used to. I stepped out of the classroom because I administrate everything now. But you know, I did a big unit on the use of social media. Now, instantaneously, you can get the word out about companies that you had, cancellations that you had, research article that you read, all of that kind of stuff, and it just instantaneously is available. So it's really important that people have to take advantage of it. University of Western States, www.uws.edu is the website.
It's been a pleasure.
Absolutely. Thank you very much.
Thanks, everyone. Good.